Number 8. This one is division. So flip that should say flip the second, and change it to multiplication. So I am going to keep a squared minus 4ab plus 3b squared. I'm going to keep a plus 2b. But instead of having this over 1, I'm going to have 1 over a squared minus ab minus 6b squared. Now I have a multiplication problem. There is no GCF in this one, but this is a box problem. There is no GCF in this one, and there is no factoring. This one's good to go. The 1 is also good to go. This is a box problem. I will do a box for this one up here because the A and the B's might be throwing you off. Okay? So what I need you to notice is A times C in this problem is 1 times 3, or just 3. The value of B is the middle value, as it's always been. B equals -4. To multiply, you need a -3 and a -1, and that gives you your -4. Please be very careful as you watch me do the box on this because it has A's and B's. So the top of the box gets a squared, just like it did up here, and the bottom gets positive 3b squared. The -3 and the -1 go in their respectful places, just like they always have. But they get an A and a B here. That's the only difference. They get an A and a B instead of just like an X or something. GCF here is a 1A. GCF here is a minus 1B. GCF here is an A. GCF here is a -3B. So I have factored the top. I'm going to rewrite the top then. So it's going to be A minus 3B and A minus 1B. That's what I just got on the box. We said the bottom does not factor. There's no GCF or anything. And you can box this again. I would suggest that you try it on your own instead of just copying what I'm doing. Let's see. Multiply -6, -1. That's going to be a -3B and a positive 2B. Now again, you should factor that by using a box or by using grouping, either way. Now we're going to look at anything on the top and anything on the bottom that matches. A minus 3B matches. And some kids think that you can cancel these. That is not the case because they're both on the bottom. So your answer on the top is that 1 with the A minus 1B. In the bottom, an A plus 2B and another A plus 2B. If you want to rewrite this and clean it up a little bit, that's really just A minus B on the top when you distribute a 1. And this, if you see this, they'll probably make it look like this. They'll have it squared like that. Okay, because there's 2 of them. Either answer is acceptable. Hopefully your factoring skills are looking really strong. All right, number 9. I like number 9. The reason I like number 9 so much is that they're all monomials. Every single one of these is a monomial. See, there's no adding or subtracting. So none need to be factored. That's great. We like it when nothing needs to be factored. This one's the first one. It stays as it is. This one's division, so I need to flip it. So I'll put R on the top and 3PQ squared on the bottom. This one's multiplication, so I just have to bring it down. Okay, ready? I am going to, maybe you'll like this better than what I did in the last monomial problem. I'm going to put everything in the top together. So 6 times 2 is 12. Let's see, it's going to be P squared. There's like this random R and a Q actually Q to the 3rd because there was 1 here and 2 here. All over 3, let's see, a P and 2 R's, so R squared and Q squared. And now I'm going to reduce. 12 divided by 3 is 4. So my final answer will have a 4 in it. Let's see. I have p squared and p. So in other words, I have two p's on the top, one p on the bottom. When they cancel, this one goes all the way away, and this changes to a 1. So I'm going to have a p to the first in my answer. Now the r's, there's 2 on the bottom and 1 on the top, so that's going to cancel to be 1 on the bottom. So I'm going to have an r to the first on the bottom. I have 3 q's on the top, 2 q's on the bottom. That's going to leave me with 1 q on the top. Number 10. I'm going to change this division problem into a multiplication problem. Keep the first one the way it is. Change the second one. So 3x is actually going to go on the bottom because this is division. X squared plus 3x minus 4 is going to go on the top. Now take a look at each of these. This one does not factor. This one does not factor. This one is a box problem. This one is a box problem. So of course I'm going to ask you pause the video and try the boxes on your own. Let's get it set up though before you pause the video. So we have 3 and 3x no matter what. We know this is going to factor. We should know that this is going to factor. So I'd like you to pause the video and make sure you can factor the top and the bottoms here. The bottom is x plus 4 and x minus 4. Hopefully you were able to get that with the box. This one is x plus 4 and x minus 1. Hopefully you were able to get that with the box. If your factoring skills are not on par, please come and see me so you can stay after and get those worked out. So we have x plus 4 on the top, x plus 4 on the bottom. Those cancel. I do have a monomial of 3 on the top and a monomial of 3 on the bottom. Those cancel. And that's it. So my top is x minus 1. The bottom is an x minus 4 and an x on the outside. You can keep the parentheses around that x minus 1. That's fine. It might actually help you see it. My Algebra 1 kids say they call that the force field. These x's do not cancel. You either cancel the whole binomial or nothing at all. These x's do not cancel. This is a monomial. That's a binomial. This is your final answer. You cannot cancel part of a binomial. Number 11. We have one more after number 11 and then we're all done. You have a lot of boxes to take care of in this problem. So first things first, I want you to know that this one is a box. You should be able to recognize that. It's 3 terms with squares. This is also a box. It is 3 terms with squares. This is not a box because there's nothing squared and there's no GCF. That one does not get factored. This is a box. There's 3 terms and we have squareds. This is a box. It's 3 terms and we have squareds. This is a binomial. There is no GCF, so this one is done. Now what I want you to do is I am actually going to color code this as much as possible here. You should go ahead and get your scrap paper and start making some boxes. Okay. This answer, the red answer, is going to go right here. The blue answer is going to go right here. Please take a moment and factor those. If you are doing things the way I am asking, you will get 3x, x, let me do my math in my head real fast. That is what you should have got for that particular factoring item. Please make sure that you did. And if you didn't, please ask me tomorrow about what you did wrong on your box. Now the bottom blue. You should get that is what you should have got for your box. Now here's what we need to be really careful about on this one. This one's a box problem and it belongs on the bottom because it follows a division sign. See how it follows that division sign? So when you factor this purple one, You put your answer on the bottom. I will suggest again that you pause the video and try it on your own. When you factor this one, you should get 3x minus 2y and x plus 3y. Now for the orange. When you factor the orange, remember it belongs on top because it followed a division bar. So, I'm not sure the video timed out, but this orange right here is what you should have got when you boxed this problem right here. These two did not need factored at all, but because they followed a division bar, they do need flipped, just like these ones did. So we'll put 3x plus y on the bottom and 3x plus 2y on the top. They did not need factored, they only needed flipped. All right. Now it's a matter of canceling anything that cancels. So, do you see a 3x minus 2y on the bottom? I do. Those cancel. Do you see an x plus y on the bottom? I do not. Do you see a 3x plus y on the bottom? I do. Do you see an x minus y on the bottom? I do. Do you see a 3x plus 2y on the bottom? I do. So we have factored and canceled everything possible, and the only thing I have left on the top is that red x plus y, and the only thing I have left on the bottom is that purple x plus 3y. These x's do not cancel out because it's either you cancel the whole thing or nothing at all, and these y's also don't cancel out because again it's the whole thing or nothing at all. That one was a bit painful with all the factoring, but hopefully you did a good job with your factoring. Number 12. I don't like how this is written. There is no GCF, but I am going to pull out a minus or a negative sign so that they can be put in order. So this becomes a positive x with a minus 4, which is much better. It's in order, and now this is positive. And this is a box problem. So again, please take a moment, pause the video, and factor x squared minus 16. When you factor x squared minus 16, if you did your job, you should get an x plus 4 and an x minus 4. The last step, canceling the things that are identical, x minus 4s, the binomials. That leaves me with a negative. Now you can't just have a negative up top, so we'll call it a negative 1 over x plus 4. I really hope in this lesson that you guys have paused the videos and actually attempted to factor these problems on your own, because factoring is really so essential for your success in 8-4 and 8-5 and 8-6. Have a good day.